Okay, hello everybody. So hope you can hear me now. Oh, basically I can hear myself on the live stream. Apologize for keeping waiting you for some time. So we're getting back in. Yes, again, hi everyone. Finally, welcome to our today's webinar. Hope you found some time to all of you to connect for today. Sound is fine. Oh, awesome. And also wanted to start with some of the questions that potentially bother you. First of all, already announced that we made some corrections to the tests. And previously we announced that it will be recalculated. Well, turned out that it might not be as easy as we thought. So instead, we did the following. So the tests that were affected are the intro test about Angular CLI, and also we found out that there were some not clear statements in answers for the components tests. So as you see, we prolonged the deadline till Wednesday, end of the day, and also we added one more attempt for those tests that were affected. So you could retake them till the new deadline to ensure like you get a full score from the answers, since we've corrected the answers in CLI test, because found out that there were some issues with the file during the migration. For the rest of the cases, we just make the statements more clear for you, so you'll not be confused. We found this way to be like appealing for all of us. So hope you are also fine. So I would encourage you, in case you got lower score for your tests because of the mistakes that were made in the test. So please take your extra attempt to pass the test. It will be updated on your screen, so you'll get the new mark based on the updates. And for sure, we just in case we'll recheck the others, because that could happen. We already know that even after third review, something could be also unclear. So yeah, please take the moment to retake the tests in case if this score is slower than you expect because you were through off of some cases. So yeah, that's what we came into. Hope will be fine with this decision. And just in case, we'll leave a small follow up after our webinar, so everyone else will be um, aware of our new changes. So just in case, the updated deadline for the tests is at the end of Wednesday. We know that's not everyone checking like Discord daily, so maybe like the day after. So the new deadlines will be the end of Wednesday, as we said for the tests. Okay. So hope we're great with this one. Let's go further. Before having the event, I put the announcements to gather the questions for Q&A. Not sure whether it is because of access or not everyone noticed this one in the announcement. So yeah, I encourage to gather the questions in advance, right? So this is the session basically is some sort of conclusion of our learning week, right? So we conclude on the week one modules that you passed, and in case if something is still not clear for you, to answer, not only like in the form of the text, but also to showcase something. And that would be great if we could do that in advance. So right after our today's stream, I'll do another thread for our next Q&A session. I would encourage you to use it to post your questions to our next session, and answering the question that you might ask me. Why do not use just questions chat? Some of the questions could be already answered. So I would keep a focus on those ones that you want my specific attention, right? So, for instance, the next week will be touching other topics. And you'll start learning it. For sure, you try to find some information worldwide which is available to get to know the answers, or also utilize the AI to get to know more about the concepts. However, if you would like to know about some best practices, how we usually do in production, for example, um, everything that bothers you in terms of the modules that we've covered. So I would encourage you to leave in advance in a thread. So I'll put another announcement for your next Q&A. In that way, I could be prepared for our next session. And in case if something requires me to showcase or to walk through, please welcome. If you see it will be useful for you. Of course, you can still drop the questions right to the YouTube chat, or maybe we could utilize this one. I'm keeping my eye everywhere, so put anything that you would like me to answer in the meantime. And after some of the news, I would like to jump in to our coding task. Guys, I really appreciate your patience. We know that we haven't left the coding task at the very beginning, didn't leave you the chance with you. So we're announcing the first part of our series about building a smart home UI. So this will be your first part covering the modules that you passed this week about components, directives, and pipes. And before I forgot, we plan to make the coding task series in that way. So it will not affect our course timelines, right? So it will be planned in accordance with our current timeline that we allocated for the task. So just in case answering this question. So meanwhile, you're thinking what to ask me, I would like you to go through your first coding assignment, which is like the first part of building our smart home dashboard. So basically, it's the application that allows you to build a dashboard of the devices that are available for you, where you can either showcase the stats if it's a sensor or if it's a controllable device such as switches, sockets, or lights, to control them, group them into the cards like here. So the card could represent a group, the room in your home, or whatever it like, because it's a dashboard that represents the user's preference. So yeah, that's the call. But you will have like the list of devices or sensors, and you can organize them into the dashboard. And also, as you see, you can create several tabs of the dashboards, for instance, like to group by the purpose. It is fully dynamical, and it's like also up to user preference. But again, you'll be giving the sample data for this task. So based on this data, you can start preparing the interfaces or modules for your task, and start breaking down the entire application into smaller pieces. And I got to think on the component structure. So basically, there should be already the reference. You could scan like here into the component structure. So basically, this is the hint for you how to bring down the application into smaller parts and for future reference. So that is how it looks like. Of course, the UI is for the reference only, right? So it is like to showcase mostly the technical requirements for the tasks, but the look and feel or how it's how it be looking in terms like of styles of the layout. So it's fully up to you. However, would like to mention three main parts. Like it is the sidebar, which is responsible and should be expanded on desktop and collapsed on mobile. The tab switcher and the main content. So those one are the three main parts that you should stick with while creating your own layout. Uh, okay, so here we're clear. So let's then bring down in our requirements. So basically, here this section with getting started. So basically, you are to generate a new project using Angular CLI. Stick to the recommendations left here, including the Unicorn ESLint plugin that for the previous stages settled instead of the Airbnb to do the known issues. So yeah, you can stick to the recommendations here, and some of them are requirements for the task evaluation. So pay attention to it and do it exactly as stated in getting started. Then what else? What should we highlight here in terms of the requirements? So I'll be mostly like showing you here using the images of the reference so that it would be much easier for me to showcase some of the requirements. So it all starts with how the dashboard looks like. So you see like three main types of cards. Basically, those ones accept both devices or sensors. So we are working with two entities. This is the sensor that has like its name identifier and some value that it produces, and the controllable device that sticks to the more or less same interface, but has like the Boolean switcher that represents the state of the switcher. So here you can observe there are three different layouts. So first, like it's a single entity card where you can add either one switch or one sensor to be displayed. The next is a horizontal card layout where you can add devices and sensors, three like more than three like in a row. Uh, the layout is horizontal here and the vertical one. So you have three types of layouts for the cards, and the idea of it is that the user could customize his own dashboard and can create the cards by his own, and in adding devices and sensors available in the database. So it will be the scope of our next tasks in the series. So for now, we focus on the mock data, right, and on the layout of all possible cases. So as I mentioned, like here. And for more description, heading over to functional requirements. So basically, those ones are the card that I will describe to you. So there will be one entry in the JSON that will indicate which type of card is set. So basically, it's a user preference, as I told you, right? Heading down like here, getting know like about what it includes, and also to pay attention like in case we're dealing with vertical layout, there is this the switcher UI component that is used to switch or indicate the current state. In case of a single layout card, it will be just icon, right? So each device or sensor will have its own icon. You can use whatever you like. If you stick with Angular material, most likely you'll be using Angular icons as well, like to be used as a string. Just before I forgot, let me show you here. So here are like some of the references for how device or sensor looks like. So it will have the icon string property, which represents the name of the icon, so you can use as is. Yeah, and when I was generating the mock data, not all of the icons could be correctly taken from the Angular icons, so you'll be free to replace the icon property by yourself in case it does not work properly for you. Okay, nevertheless, it's we jumped into like between the topics, so let's get back. Yeah, about the switchers. So basically, getting back here, just realize like for the horizontal layout, there will be also a new chance to put the switcher icon here, the switcher element. That in that case, let's stick to the same rule as we apply for the single card. So we'll be using just icon, right? And by clicking on the section, the icon will change its state. So it will be either lit or blank, depending on its state. So I'll put it like in the description. However, that's just in case to answer the question, or in case if you have your own layout, so you could probably find the place for the switcher. However, if we stick to our initial idea, so let it be just icon. So the switch element will be having in case if a card is vertical and has more properties or new entities added. Okay, going back to other requirements. Some of the cards could have the group toggle, as we see here. The group toggle can affect all the devices in the card and has its own rule how it should behave. Just in case, if we take the living room card and we see like there is the light or lamp entities added, in case if you add the sensor entity that just has the text data, the group toggle should be still visible. So it controls the devices only that are added. And if you pay attention to all the cards, this toggle is not always visible. So it's visible when you have 2 or more devices added to the card. And yeah, this applies like to all the cards. I mean, whenever you have more entities, so whether it's vertical or horizontal, so it should also have this group toggle. And there are rules described here how it should work. So the group toggle keeps on whenever one of the entities is on, at least one, and it's off in case if all of the entities are off. And of course, by clicking toggle all, it will turn off on all the lights in this section, and toggling off will do the same. Okay, here is clear. And one more thing to highlight here is about the recommendation of having the separate components for devices and sensors. So basically, if we do that, then we'll keep it keep the single instance, let's say, of how we work with the either sensor or device. By instance, what I mean, for sure, technically, it will be not one instance because you have more devices. But what do I mean? We have one like component for a single device, controllable device, right? That has like icon, name, and switcher. And based on the type of card where it's added, it could also have the different layout, like based on the conditions. So, for instance, on a single card, the device could look like this. In case of having the horizontal layout, it will look like this, and for the vertical, as you see here. Basically, it's up to you to decide how to properly handle the cases. I would probably recommend sticking to having a single component for a device and a sensor that will have like the input binding for the layout style. That's one of the recommendations. If you see like it does not suit for your project needs or your structure, you could come up with a different solution. So that's in case if you might face some struggles or issues while coming up with the idea how to implement. And yeah, each entity, so there is a description how the state could look like, and the rule like for showing up the switcher. The same goes for the sensor. And here I already mentioned that we'll be utilizing a custom pipe to convert our value from the object to have just a string. So it has like the state like of measuring like electricity or weather conditions, and it consists of amount in a number and a unit as the letter or symbol. So basically it's a regular string. So in that case, it makes possible to edit those numbers like from the backend or front end. Okay. Then yeah, basically we covered most of the functionalities. Yeah, and one of the requirements is to have at least one custom directive and at least one custom pipe. For pipes, we already gave you the case when it could be used right here for like formatting the sensor data. You could also come up with different scenarios if you see like you can utilize the pipe, so which is used to transform the data, which is used in templates, right? So if you see it will help you to reuse some of the logics, you're free to implement the custom pipes for more cases. Same goes to custom directives. We haven't specifically defined which place should be used to create custom directives. We left to choose it for up to you, and brought some of the cases where it potentially could be used. Just in case, I'm checking the chats. Will there be recordings for this live session? Oh, for sure, the session is recorded, and we'll leave you the follow-up for this right after we finish with the live session, and we'll drop you the link to the announcement. So basically, you can use the same stream link. After it's finished, you'll immediately access the recording. So yeah, it is recorded. Don't worry. All right, so getting back. So basically, we already covered most of the aspects of the tasks. For sure, take care of reading the description, the requirements. Pay attention also to evaluation criteria. This will be the main ones used for evaluation. And basically, this is pretty much it. So we release like the first part, and we'll try to release the next parts in advance, so you could scan through in advance before the actual implementation starts. And lastly, is it possible to get access to week 1 if you have missed it? So basically, on week 1, we had the tests, and there is still the little time to complete the tests. So if you miss that, that's right about the time. And we also prolonged the 2 tests, which is Angular CLI and components, due to observations found by others that were already fixed. So yeah, you still have a chance, but this is right about the time, because this test will close like in a couple of hours, right? But you still have a chance. Let's see. Why did you put 10 days on the task? So I was thinking on the deadlines, right, and thought like the 1.5 weeks should be enough, taking into account like spending up to 2 hours, let's say. Um, However, I do aware that since the task is a new one, and we haven't tried it giving to students, it might be complicated to implement within the deadline. So let's then agree on the following. Um, do not rush for the deadline by coding the task. Do it in your usual uh, do it as usual without any rush for the time. In case if you see the deadline is too short for this task, I'm pretty sure we could trade off like a couple of days if you see like you and a few of others are like struggling with completing it because it's too complex. So I came up like with 10 days as like the optimal, just to not make it too late or too early. But you get me right. How about routing? So routing will be covered within the next week. Will there be the backend API in the future or not? Yes, there will be the backend API where you can save your preferences when creating the dashboards. So basically, the idea was that we'll add the edit functionality where you can create your own cards at your own devices and sensors and control them using the backend. Also, backend will do a little presentation of the devices that were added. So yeah, there will be the backend in the task in scope when it will come to HTTP. Speaking about the routing, just in case, this is not the scope for the current task, right? So we would expect that within the task you will have the layout like the sidebar, the dashboard component, which like will represent one single wrapper component. And the reason why I put it separately in component structure is that it would be easier for you to move the component outside and make it as a page when configuring the routing. For now on, let's focus on having just static menu. So in the left sidebar, there will be several links to other pages as well as login one. And yeah, we'll be focusing on dashboard component that will already contain the tab switcher and the cards. So hope I answered this question. In the next task, the tabs will be transformed to the pages. Yes, exactly. And we'll add a couple new ones. Okay. Looks like that's pretty much it. We already covered the majority of cases here. Just in case, we'll be waiting a few more minutes for your questions related to the task. So either related to the task or to the course or to previous modules. So please feel free to ask anything if something is still unclear. Nothing to say about working with the repository. Is it necessary to create a separate branch for the task, or will the PR for each part of the task need to be opened to the main branch? Yeah, you're right. So we'll be sticking to our previous rules, right? For having the pull requests. So basically, the intention is the following: you'll be having the repository for the single app, and the goal for having series of tasks is step by step implementation, right? So you took a focus on having components, directive pipes. So you opened a pull request so your mentor can leave you comments when checking your task, right? So it will be much easier to leave comments while the PR is open. Uh, and I don't see like any other things how it can be done. So basically, you even for free to have your own private repo. I'm not sure whether it's restrictive. We'll have a short question of within our team. But anyway, speaking about PRs, basically, you did a task, you open a PR. When your task is already checked by a mentor, the comments were provided. You could either fix them if you wish to fix them now, like to improve, or you could merge it to main branch already, right? So the next task that will be implemented, it will be another branch targeted to main. So once it's checked, you're free to merge. So by the time you have the fully functional app within one single branch, so that's basically was the intention. Hope I answered your question. In case if it's still not clear, please let us know. Okay. So hope I answered your question. Okay. I hope I did it clear for you, and at least it is clear from the requirements. I know that there will be questions by the time you'll read it. Then I would encounter you in case if you have something unclear in the requirements or you have the doubts. I would encounter you, chat me in the private, because, well, I don't have much occasions to monitor all the chats, unfortunately. So occasionally I monitor the chats, but I'm not sure whether I would be able to find the question addressed to me. So I would encourage either tag my name or chat me in the private in case if you have any doubts to the task requirements and also for tests if you still have any doubts for them. So hope we're good here. I keep seeing the chat, no other questions, so let's probably allocate a few more minutes for you to think about, or in case if you're good, then we should be good to wrap up for today. Okay, nothing new. Maybe it's taking the time to ask. So let's see. Is there an English group for Discord or WhatsApp? So we have a Discord group, right? So if you're still not part of it, head to the RS School website, so you can find a link how to join the Discord or from the modules. All right. Anything else that bothers you? I know that we had a quite few incidents with the test, so hope I already explained to you what we're going to do, and also the task work came a bit late for you. Again, I appreciate your patience and hope you will join. All right. I don't see new things from you. So in that case, I believe we're good to close here. But again, if there is something else for you that you would like to know, I would encourage chatting me or private or tagging my name, because that will higher the chance that I will notice your question and will see that it is addressed directly to me. Okay, let's see. I can't understand the language they use in Discord group. Which Discord group? So basically, we already have like. Okay, so I see like. I see your point. So basically, it's already have like the common ones, or you're gonna use the questions to admins. We'll see. I did understand correctly that it is advisable to use async pipe only in a component with the on push strategy. Thank you. Good question. So let's recap what we know about the async pipe, right? So first of all, it is impure, right? What does it mean? So it means that the transform function will be invoked each time when the Angular performs change detection cycle. What will happen when we add the on push? The on push basically. Yeah. Yeah, just a minute. With the on push, you restrict the way how we do the change detection. So instead of like relying on either DOM events or sync events, we tell the Angular CDR, hey, I know that my components will be updated only in case if we affect the input. So please listen to that, or just in case we could inject the change detection reference and do the change detection cycle manually. With the async pipe, however, it has internal mechanism of marking the changes for you, right? So to make it like easy for understand, so let's have a reference to change detector ref. So basically, it's a service that could be injected into your component, and there are like two methods that are commonly used. First is mark to check and detect changes. So we can check the purpose of it. And usually, whenever you assign the on push change detection strategy to your component, so you would like to mark it for check. Which means that the next time Angular will perform the checkup for this component and update its view, right? And I could be wrong in terms of technical details, but async pipe under the hood does the same. So whenever the new value comes into the observable to the async pipe, right, it performs triggers the new change detection cycle to go through, right, for this component. So yeah, in that case, it does not really affected by choosing the change detection strategy of your component. So it already does the handling for you. But in case async pipe is advisable, like regardless of either you have the default or on push change detection strategy, it will allow you to conveniently listen to some stream in your component, and probably like the most common use case. Okay, so looks like yeah, because I'm not connected to the network. So let's assume like you have the component. So maybe let me find some of the references, or maybe let's do this way. That would be easier. Okay, so let's assume that you have the component. I'll not include all the metadata, like test component. And yeah, there will be like rest of the metadata. There will be change detection strategy on push, something like this. And then, yeah, there are like two different ways. How can we like handle our async data? Either to put it here as a component state, and let's assume you do the ng-on init, you subscribe to some service, get data, so it will be the observable. So in this case, you're subscribing to it and assign the data to your local state. And basically, you can use the data in your template, through the interpolation or input binding. Or other way, basically, I see here when you have the on push, the data is not marked as an input, right? So in this case, you might not see the changes in your template. So if you handle this way, then you need also we'll use like CDR. We'll use the new method to call like the inject. So it will be change detector ref, if I'm not wrong. So I could be wrong, but I hope you get the idea. And basically, to make the changes available on our view, we should do mark for check. So only in this way we will see the changes on our template, right? If with the same on push, instead of like having the separate data, we'll do observable. I'll put any for now, and simply without any subscriptions, then we could just assign this to our data. And it could be even done like at the beginning. So in that case, your code will be more concise, right? And you can use directly your data source with Async Pipe. And yeah, in that case, if you utilize on push as change detection strategy, that makes sense. So that's kind of interesting question. So hope I answered it well. So in that case, yeah, I encourage you to put the questions in advance so I could be prepared and like prepare some of the code samples to showcase some of the aspects that you would like to know, because you see now I do it spontaneously. But again, I hope that answers the question you were asking about Async Pipe. Okay. I see in the meantime I was describing it, no other questions, so let's give you another 1 to 2 minutes. And yeah, just in case. So in your template, for instance, if you have numerous places you would like to use the properties from your data, so basically you can assign it like to ng, for instance, and assign it as a local variable. So it's like done this way as server data. And in any other cases where you would like to access the property, so you just go and use the local alias for this. So in that case, that solves two things. First, you ensure the data is loaded before it will be used in your template, and conveniently gets the access. Okay, I see no other questions in the chat. all the chats. So yeah, just in case I have the YouTube in other monitor, so I see it, everything. Okay. Another questions from you. Then let's wrap it up. In case if something else bothers you, please chat either in private or take my name. I keep repeating it for you, just in case. We'll leave a short follow up describing what was discussed for today. And yeah, uh, looks like we're good to go. Thank you for your patience waiting for coding task, and thank you for your attention during our today's webinar. So hope you enjoy the coding task. In case of any doubts, yeah, open for suggestions, and have a great rest of the day. So hope it was useful for you. Uh, See you soon.